Hi everybody, thanks for joining us for Northern Ag TV. Well, over 1,700 Montana FFA members and supporters attended the state convention in Bozeman last week. Our network's Colton Young was covering the event for us and caught up with now past state FFA President Jordan Leach. And he asked her, looking back on her year of service, what are some of the moments that made her feel like she really made a difference?
A lot of times when you're walking around convention or when you're kind of just out in public anywhere and you don't really feel like anybody knows who you are, nobody really cares that you're a state officer. It's very humbling. But then when you have that one individual come up and say, hey, oh my gosh, it's Jordan, it just feels so good to know that people actually do appreciate you and realize the work that you put in. It's just such a good feeling. And getting to see all the members and watch them all succeed in their respective competitions is such a good feeling.
Well, farmers who bought state hail insurance in 2024 will receive a 10% refund of the premium they paid. That decision was made by the State Hail Board at their meeting last month, where they also voted to keep premiums the same in 2025. Last year, the state issued 262 policies covering 308,000 acres. In other grain industry news, National Association of Wheat Growers CEO Chandler Gould will be stepping down in July. Gould has served as CEO for 9 years, and he said one of his proudest moments was winning the Prop 65 case against California, ensuring facts and science guided the outcome, and he encouraged wheat farmers to stay engaged with NOG to strengthen their industry. Well, today marks the end of the second ever Montana Soil Health Week. To celebrate Soil Health Week, we hosted a podcast episode with several producers, and Shepherd rancher Steve Charter told us the principles of soil health have taken hold because they can help producers become better stewards of the land, but can also improve resiliency and profitability.
On a dryland place like this, you can't afford many inputs. So we really need to use our cows as a tool. It's just made us more resilient. And over the long run, I think it's allowed us to keep our operation going by concentrating on lower our inputs and using the tools we have to increase our production.
And last month, the Miss Rodeo Montana Pageant Council hosted their first ever pageant after taking over the Miss Rodeo Montana, and they selected the 2025 and 26 royalty. Allie Allen of Huntley will serve as Miss Rodeo Montana 2025, and Bella Jensen of Ekalaka was crowned Miss Teen Rodeo Montana. The council chose to crown next year's winners as well, so Miss Rodeo Montana 2026 will be Bentley McCullough of Geraldine, and Emily Torgerson of Bozeman won the teen crown. Thanks for being with us. Now stick around because we got a lot to talk about with the markets and how tariffs have affected prices.
From the beginning, we've worked closely with farmers. BNSF's ties to the agricultural community go back 175 years. Together, we've innovated to make the U.S. agriculture supply chain one of the most efficient and productive in the world. Our strong relationship powers BNSF still today and helps us move the nation like no one else can. At BNSF, we move the nation for you.
Talking with someone that you know is stressed out, those are difficult things to approach, but if you're good friends with those people, reach out and say, I'm here to talk to you. We can find somewhere to get some assistance. It's hard to get involved, but at the same time, you want to just say, hey, there is help available.
For more tips in dealing with stress in agriculture or for free counseling for egg producers, visit beyondtheweather.com.
Well, there's no two ways about it. Friday was an extremely tough day in the cattle futures as they reacted to tariffs and the threat that could pose to the economy and beef demand. Feeder cattle lost $12 in 2 sessions. They were limit down on Friday, meaning today most of the contracts will have expanded limits up to $16.50 for the feeders. Live cattle certainly under pressure as well. The cash trade, though, did a little better, only steady to $1 lower, with live sales ranging $207 to $215. Dress deals again trading $335 to $345. Turn to our local markets. It's a lot better news. A big crowd of buyers at Billings Live and an excellent market on the steers, with low 5 weights selling up to $411, mid to 5 weight steers $370 to $395, low 6 weights $335 to $370. Big run of heifers too, and a few lots of replacements selling $22.50 to $23.50. Not much of a test of the lamb market in Newell, but good demand on bred ewes as 2 to 3 year old ewes sold from $245 to $270 per head, and a big group of 80 to 90 pound open replacement heifers too. Now, the wheat market held up to the tariff pressure on Thursday, but started to succumb Friday. Corn held up shockingly well, while soybeans saw 30-cent plus losses. Outside pressure from factors like the Dow off 3,000 points in 2 days and crude oil down $11 really affected the market. China announced their retaliation with a 34% tariff on U.S. goods, but there are reports that Vietnam wants to move their tariffs on the U.S. to zero. We've got a lot to get through with the initial knee-jerk reaction. Hopefully long-term, we'll have some better trade deals. Thanks for joining us today. For the Northern Ag Network, I'm Colter Brown.